495 Elliott Road in Norwood, huh? Well. Sounds like a nice delivery. It's credit card. Let's see. Someday I kind of like working the power hour, you know? I think it's like the 27th or something of October. Kind of a nice time for the weather. Or not. Not really. This is when it's not a nice time. A lot of the leaves have gone, but there's still some if you're lucky. Still got Halloween coming. You never know. Some of these downhills you can just coast through. It's fun. Just changing over. End of the 40-mile-per-hour limit. Begin 55 on 56. So I mean, if you're gonna go 56, it's kind of like you can get away with it. Like, oh, whoops. Get those signs mixed up a little, I think. I'm going 56. After all, I've got food for people and I know they're hungry. I guess I'm reading a book about the 12th one. Again, it's about ancient civilizations and the origin of mankind and the mystery of even archaeological evidence from what they've been speaking to us lately in history classes. As of the early 2000s, anyway. God knows if they're starting to tell the truth yet. Probably not. My research has shown a great deal of differences than what we memorize, write down on tests, and get graded on in schools. One of my biggest discoveries was, as a geologist, the fact that the planet had changed thousands of years ago into being more of a luscious region in Egypt. A time of almost what you'd consider the opposite of a desert that it's become. Anyway, through stonework and seismology, really, my focus was that the Great Sphinx had tremendous water damage, and that the Nile River had at one point been much closer to the complex of the pyramids of Giza. However, everything seemingly landed on the idea that it's more or less, what would I say? Somewhere between 10,500 BC and 11,000 BC, maybe even older, depending on, what led up to the construction of such an incredible monument. I mean, I've never even been there, and this place radiates a feeling from the other side of the earth in its sheer size, let alone mathematical dimensions and the like. It just, believe it or not, that's the truth of it. The Great Sphinx is speaking celestially about a date approximately 10,500 years BC. So we're talking about 12,500 to 13,000 years BC, and stretching into a time when technically none of this history that we're being taught fits into. Like there's some kind of lost civilization. Well, it's gonna be fun to read this book, get some new insight from a different character, he's technically pretty good guy, I've heard of him, and I know that he's written many books. This'll maybe through fate be the first one I should read. I don't know, maybe get something. He's got many books is the thing, and I'm jumping into a series of books, it seems, that could just continuously go further and further on. Really hard to say, of what happened with right while the other's wrong. So they kind of like interlock, you know? Like evolution and scientists from the sky. They call gods coming here. By the way, have never really even answered their message or answering machine for any prayer for the last, I don't know, 2,000 years or ever. And boy, it seems like when they did answer prayer, it was before people even needed to ask for it. So it's almost like it's been abandoned or something. Mysterious, but the idea that there's all these plants and vegetables and trees and fruits and animals that have been domesticated and seemingly just jump out of nowhere from a period that once thrived with dinosaurs with no insects, and then insects with flowers, and you know, a lot of this stuff just adds up to a story that seems quite unique and exciting, as opposed to the evolution and creation myths or truths or I don't know, whatever intermingled, you know, with whatever's really lasted. So my research is showing me these things, and I'm kind of stuck halfway between returning to college to be taught lies about my study of you know, my advancement in geology and all forms of science, you know, biology, chemistry, all these things come together once you start flipping through the greater knowledges of one. Science is interlocked, it's all science, you know. Chemistry, biology, geology, they interconnect. That's what duh is. That's just the duhness. And that's Douglas. That's a funny coincidence, I suppose. Sometimes there's just kind of... Someone's hungry? Where are we? Where am I going here? This delivery is kind of far away, it seems. This is a realistic idea. Are there even... At least there's road signs, I guess. A lot of police activity in the North Country. People are even writing in the newspapers about it, stating that, you know, the police officers are ticketing people for anything, you know, just raising funds. Most of us can't afford this stuff, you know, this treatment. Is that, $4.95 was there? Yeah, $4.95. I'm good at finding $4.95. It's not really in the thousands, but it's got a couple hundred packed into it. Let's see, what is this place? Rumor has it they're hungry. Rumor has it. Oh, it's a horsey. God loves them horsies. So do I.